What up, peeps? Welcome to a pickup video. This one is going to be probably, as always, very Switch heavy, but I do have a pretty good stack of NES games. We have some Game Boy stuff, few other odds and ends, and as always, we're gonna start with like the non-video game stuff. So we have like some promotional items, some merch, some toys, stuff like that. Grab a drink, grab a snack. Of course, as always, this is going to be kind of a long video. So here we go. First up, we placed an order for my store from Japan recently and had to get a couple things for the collection as well. We also have these in stock at the store. So if you're local and you're interested, you can come in and grab some, or if you're not local, doublejumpvideogames.com. Of course, you can place orders directly on there. But I got a bunch of Pikmin merch. So first, 3 little patches, red, blue, and purple Pikmin. And then also, from the patches, we have a Bulborb and Ochi. Pretty sweet. And then also Pikmin, we have hair clips. I could use these, but I'm probably not going to. But we have the yellow Pikmin. They come in sets of 2. We have the blue ones. We have the red boys, and we have Ochi. I do think that there are other patches I did not get. I don't know if there are other hair clips or not. One other item that we didn't get for the store, I just got this for my collection because it's something so weird. I don't know why anyone would ever purchase this unless they're insane like I am. But it's these little Pikmin like paper tags that I guess you could write a name on or you could write something else on. Just some weird kind of stationery thing. I don't think that anyone would ever buy these at the store, so I just got one for my collection just because I'm trying to get all the Pikmin stuff. There isn't a ton out there, so it was like $1, so why not? Moving on, I have one Steelbook only case for a Nintendo Switch game. It's for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I have a bunch of Steelbooks. I don't know if you can see them. They're right in here on that shelf. So just another one to add to that. I also got the little DK, I don't even know what you'd call this. It's a Donkey Kong Country Returns HD like pre-order bonus, but it's just like a little empty barrel. I think it's like a pencil cup type thing. Very weird because I have something almost exactly like this that came out for the 3DS version of the game, which I got from Toys R Us back in the day. It looks almost identical. I think it just has a piece in the top where you can put like a couple DS cartridges. So kind of interesting. That one came in a cardboard box. This one came in this bag, but it is a Switch pre-order bonus, so why not? What else? I have this very interesting. This is an official Nintendo sticker album, and this is from 1988, so it's 2 years older than I am. It is new and unused, and it has this little piece of paper here, just this little insert, which if you find these online for sale anywhere, you probably will never find this little piece of paper, which is what I think made it so interesting. Customer brought 2 of these into my store, and as you can see on the inside, all blank, no stickers, it's all brand new, and just a very, very cool thing. I don't think I have any of the stickers that came out like during this era, and some of the packs on eBay are not cheap, but still very cool. I'm just going to kind of add this to my Nintendo collection. I'm probably not going to use it at all, but I think it's very interesting, and having that original paper, which is always missing, I think makes it pretty special. Like I said, there were 2 of them. So we do have one that we're going to be selling at the store once we move to our new location. Kind of been saving up a bunch of like promo items, signage, display stuff, like really special collector type items. And I think that that kind of fits into that category. So that will be there along with all the other stuff we have. Moving on, I actually have an eBay purchase here, which you don't hear me say too often anymore, but it is a Nintendo 64 collectible Super Mario watch. And what's cool about this is that it has a hologram. I don't know if I can catch it. There you go. It's got flying capped Mario on there, which is really cool. This is an official Nintendo 64 collectible item. And it was insanely cheap, which is the only reason I purchased it. It's obviously brand new here from 1997 from BD&A, which they make a bunch of the Nintendo 64 era, like Nintendo Power collectible type stuff. So pretty cool. And like I said, it was insanely cheap. It was like 20 bucks. Very affordable. I do have a couple figures here as well. This one, somebody just like threw in for free on like in a package of stuff we were purchasing for the store. And I did not know that this existed, and it's kind of cool, and I just want it to chill on the shelf somewhere. But it is a Captain Toad figure. He's got his whole little backpack and everything. The frying pan comes out of his hand, and it slides into the slot right there. Very cool. Love Captain Toad, and didn't know that there were any figures for the Captain version of Toad. So I'm gonna find somewhere around the game room for him to go. Another figure that I actually got from Ryan and Jess, and this is a Maximo figure. Maximo, of course, he's got a couple games on PS2, and he's missing his sword, which kind of sucks, but I just wanted to get him to, once again, set on a shelf somewhere. On top of my PlayStation 2 cabinet over here, I have a bunch of like Mega Man bobbleheads and Mega Man figures. I was thinking this might be kind of perfect to fit in right there, because it's in the PlayStation section, and yeah, I just think it'd be perfect for Maximo here. Next, I have 2 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Also not something you've probably ever heard me say, but we purchased a bunch of cards from a customer at the store. They had some Pokemon, and then a decent chunk of Yu-Gi-Oh, and then some Digimon stuff, which they decided to hold on to. And we don't normally take Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but they were older stuff. There was a lot of first editions and some expensive ones, so we did. And in the process of going through those and making an offer, I figured out that 2 of the cards are actually cards that originally came in games. And if you guys have been collecting Nintendo stuff, complete in box for a while, if you've ever run across any of the old Yu-Gi-Oh games, in particular the Game Boy ones, they are supposed to come with cards and usually never have them. Out of all the ones I've collected over the years, and out of, running the store for almost 7 years now, I've never seen a single Yu-Gi-Oh game come in with the cards other than the brand new like Switch versions. So each game is supposed to come with 3 cards. This is 1 card for 2 different games. One of them I don't even have yet. And I don't remember which one is which, but we have Exchange and Sayaryu. Not sure exactly, but I looked them up, and one of these comes in the Dark Duel Stories for the Game Boy Color. The other one comes in one of the Game Boy Advance games. So they're very cheap cards. These are like just a couple bucks each, but happy to have them, and I'll add the one to the game I have, and then I'll just hold on to the other one until I get that game, because I can almost guarantee it will not come with any of those cards. I've actually looked into getting the Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the games like years ago, and it would always be like, okay, this game came with 3 cards. I look up the first one, it's like $5. Look up the second one, it's like 10, 15 bucks. I'm like, okay. Then I look up the third one, and it's like $80. And it's like, I don't want to spend like $100 to get 3 cards that are going to go into a game that is going to sit on the shelf. It's probably not a game that I'm ever going to play. I probably won't take it down and make a video on it or anything like that. The Pokemon cards that come in some of the games, like the Pokemon trading card game comes with like the Meowth promo. That's the kind of stuff that I would make a video on, and I would look at, and I would play that game. The Yu-Gi-Oh ones, not so much, so I didn't want to spend too much. Eventually, I'll probably try to track them down, because it is like a fun thing to go for. I'm not a card collector, so it is kind of fun to look at stuff sometimes, but at least I got those 2 to start. Do I have anything? Yes. Going back to Pikmin, the Pikmin Terrarium Collection 2 of the Remint blind box figures came out, and I have the first set. I have all of them, and we got these at the store, so I had to get a box. I haven't opened it yet, but when I'm in the process of putting all this stuff away from this pickup video, I will open it up. I'll get them all together and see if I can fit them. I'm looking where all my Pikmin stuff is. They're not gonna fit, so I'll have to figure something out. Pikmin needs a bigger spot in the game room. All right, so that's basically it for like all of the stuff that's not actual games. I do have one console to show you guys, but I'm gonna save that for a little bit later. So I'm gonna start with PS1, because I do have one more item it's not a promo item, but it's not quite just a normal game. And that is the Spyro Year of the Dragon and Crash Bash, like double pack, like demo thing. It opens up and it's got the Crash and Spyro that pop up, which is really cool. And then it's got the demo disc here, which has both of the demos on one disc, which is kind of cool. Don't collect a lot of demo stuff, but it's not worth very much. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a little different than a lot of demos. It's got some cool artwork on there, the little pop-up guys. So decided to add that to the collection. And then one other PS1 game, just one that I don't really see very often, Motor Toon Grand Prix. So I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm currently working on the Super Nintendo set, and I've been thinking maybe after I finish that I'd focus on PS1. So coming up, you know, hopefully over the next year, you'll see me pick up more PS1 games, just kind of stuff like this where it's just kind of uncommon, because I do have most of the rare games already. So I need a lot of these like weird, uncommon, obscure games, and then just a lot of cheaper filler, a lot of sports games, stuff like that. So probably start picking up more of that stuff soon. Next up for Nintendo 64. Don't add a lot to this collection anymore since I do have it complete, but I did need one cartridge, and this is the only cartridge I needed, and it's not for the full set, it's for a variant, and that is the Player's Choice GoldenEye. So I have the Black Label version complete, and I had the Player's Choice box and manual, and I've just been waiting for a good condition cartridge to come in at the store. It's taken forever, but I finally got one. So every N64 box that I own now has the manual and the cartridge. That was the only one I needed. So there we go. Let's go with GameCube next. We'll just kind of go in line from Nintendo 64. I have 3 new Player's Choice games that I'm adding to the collection, and then one variant of a Black Label game. So we have Namco Museum, Tony Hawk's Underground, and Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. After I finished the North American GameCube set, I started to kind of get some of the Player's Choice games. I'm not really focusing on it too much. I'm just kind of getting them as I see them. But there's like 130-ish Player's Choice games, which is a lot more than I initially expected there to be. So I think with these 3, I'm up to like 15, so we have a lot to go. But it's not very often that I find a variant that I don't have, or something that's not just a Player's Choice game for GameCube, and that is the Star Wars Bounty Hunter Limited Edition cover art. As you can see right here, it is a little bit water damaged, so I'm hoping that one will come in to the store at some point and I can replace the artwork here. It's not too bad. If you don't catch it in the light, like if it's just like this, you can't even tell. But when you catch it in the light, it's kind of bad. So eventually I'll replace it, but it's not a huge deal. And that's it for GameCube. So let's move on to the DS. Normally I have DS and 3DS kind of mixed together, but I don't have any 3DS games for this video, just a few DS games. First one, Easy Piano Play and Compose, and this comes in a big box with a little like piano controller. Very interesting, there's a picture of it. I had never seen one of these before. This got traded into the store, and I was like, man, so unique, so weird. I like collecting stuff like this because, like, not only is this uncommon, like, as involved in video game collecting as I am, I've never seen this, never heard of it, so I thought it was very interesting. It says, includes game and officially licensed keyboard accessory. But yeah, there's a bunch of rare games for every console. Some of those rare games are pretty well known, and for DS, that's just something I've never seen before, and that's the kind of stuff that I like to add to the collection now, even though I'm not focusing on, you know, collecting DS. I will add games to the collection here and there if it's something kind of unique, something special, something I've never seen before, and that falls perfectly into that category. The other DS games I have here are Robocalypse? Robocalypse? I don't know exactly how you're supposed to say it, but just another game I'd never heard of. And then 2 more here that I was actually surprised I didn't already have. I thought that I had them, and well, I thought that I had at least one of them, so when these came into the store, I checked my spreadsheet and I was like, oh, I don't have either of them, and it's the Game & Watch Collection 1 and 2. And you couldn't purchase these games back in the day. They were only available through Club Nintendo. They both say not for resale and have the Club Nintendo logo on there. In Japan, they actually got a few more games that were like Club Nintendo exclusive, like I think Tingle's Balloon Party, and then There's and then like what's it called? Like Tingle's Rupee Land or something like that. I think that those were Club Nintendo exclusive as well. If I'm wrong, you can let me know in the comments, but I think that they were. But a couple DS games added to the collection. Pretty cool. Moving on to Nintendo Wii. I only have 2 games here. The first one I actually bought from somebody on Whatnot. I don't remember who it was, but this was very cheap for what it is. I think I paid like $16 for this, and it's the Endless Ocean Blue World, but it is the big box that comes bundled with the Wii Speak. And if I'm remembering correctly, because I got this a little while ago now, but Price Charting had it at like 50 bucks or something, so for like 20 bucks or less, I thought that was a pretty good deal. It does have the rip right here where it was opened, but most of these big box games, if they are opened, they do have a rip like that. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't think to just use a box cutter or a knife, so they just rip it. But still, it's one of the few like bundles like this that I didn't have yet. I have a bunch of them. They're kind of like over above the Switch games here. But there's a bunch of them that come with either Wii remotes, microphones, Wii Speak bundles. Some of them come with like some other type of accessory or like Wii remote attachment type thing. So thought that was kind of cool. Like I said, just one I didn't have and it was very cheap. And then the last Wii game, this is the one that's been on the list for quite some time because Abby really wanted to play this game. She absolutely loves the movie. I like the movie. I don't think it's the best. I'd rather watch Nightmare Before Christmas, but it is Coraline. Hard to find game, kind of expensive, especially for a Wii game, so very happy to knock that one off the list. And then let's move on to Nintendo Switch, because like I said at the beginning of the video, this is gonna be a very Switch heavy pickup video, and it's because there's just so much stuff here. We have actually purchased a few different Switch collections at the store over the past month, and then there's been some new releases as well. So I have a bunch of Switch games here to go through. This is, I don't know, this is like, what, 30 or 40 games? There's a ton of them. I'm gonna go through the big box stuff first. We have the Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 2 Collector's Edition. I already had the Volume 1, so they came in together, so luckily I was able to get that one. We also have the Steins Gate Elite Big Box Limited Edition is what they call it here on the back. Comes with a cloth poster, storyboard world line collection, and then digital voucher for the game. So this might be one of those collector's editions that doesn't even have a copy of the game in it, it's just digital. We also have Hunt Down Collector's Edition. We have Muse Dash. This is a new release that came out. We sold out of it, so I don't know if people are really liking it or what. I haven't heard much about it. Looks like it's a rhythm, parkour and rhythm combined perfectly, it says. Interesting. We also have Blazing Chrome. This one comes in like a gigantic clamshell, like a plastic clamshell. And then we also have, we just got this game in at the store for the PS4, and I'm not exactly sure what the official title is. The outer thing says, it looks like a razor blade kind of cover thing, but the outside says Black Label, but then it says Victor Vran Overkill Edition, #1, Wired presents Black Label. I don't know what the actual title is, and it seems a little weird on price charting as well. So if you guys know what the official title of this game is, or how, like, is Black Label in the title? Does that come first? Does Victor Vran come first? I don't know. Let me know if you guys know. And then we have Cuisenaire Day 1 Edition, another new release that came out that we had at the store and sold out pretty quickly. So I think people have been enjoying this game. If you've played it, let me know. And then we have the not quite as big box stuff, but still not standard cases. We have Rack and Ruin. We also have Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch Limited Edition. Comes with a steelbook, 3 lithographs, digital soundtrack, and a sticker sheet. Then we have Demon's Tier Exclusive Edition. We have a robot named Fight, which, this is a steelbook one. I know that I have like the regular version of the game, and I have the big collector's edition. Didn't know that they made like a little steelbook one. We have Crisis 2 Remastered. Comes with a steelbook and the game. We have the Atari Recharge Collection 1 and 2. Never even heard of this until it came in. There's been a bunch of like Atari collection games, but I didn't know that there was like a double pack for it. Then we have Contra Operation, I think it's Galaga? I don't know, but it's the classic edition here that looks like an NES box. Another classic edition, the Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. And then this is the game that I'm currently playing, and that is the Plucky Squire. This is the deluxe edition here. I have the standard version, which is the one that I opened, and this is a very fun game. I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far. It'll be featured in a feature video when I talk about like I just did a video about like the 13 games that I've beaten so far in 2025. I'm up to 17 games beaten right now. Plucky Squire will be number 18, so that'll be in a feature video, but it's very, very fun. If you like kind of simple, like, I almost want to call it a puzzle game. It is like an action kind of adventure game with a lot of heavy puzzle elements and some very unique mechanics that I haven't seen in a game before, where you're like playing in this like storybook and it's like 2D, top-down Zelda style, but then you can jump out of the book and it becomes fully 3D and you can like run around the desk and do all sorts of stuff. Very fun. If you haven't played it, I would at least watch a watch a trailer or something, because it looks really, really fun, and it is. Next up is Cathedral. And then we have Minute Special Reserve. I had the normal copy of this game, but not this one. But it looks interesting. And then last one that's kind of like a big box one is Rain on Your Parade. So now we can move on to the like standard case Switch games, and there is a lot. We have 2 big stacks. So many Switch games. I don't even know if these are gonna fit on the shelf. They are 100% not going to, now I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna have to rearrange the game room again. First up, an import. I try not to collect too many imports anymore, but this is a game that I really like, at least a series that I really like, and it's Magical Drop 6. Did not get released in North America on Switch, at least physical. So we got this one in, had to add that to the collection. That's probably one of the games that I enjoy playing the most on the Neo Geo arcade machines. So, had to get it. We also have, I'm gonna butcher this, Getsufu Maiden Undying Moon. We have Kalmajao Ramelia Scarlet Symphony. We have the Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection. Salt and Sanctuary. Mineko's Night Market. Jess at Double Jump has been playing this one. She said it's really fun. We have the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection, which comes with 2 cards, and this one's sealed because it just came out, so I know that the cards are in there. This one's interesting. If you guys know anything about this, please let me know in the comments. It's Pixel Junk Eden 2, and I played a lot of Pixel Junk Monsters 2 on Switch, which I really enjoyed, but I know nothing about Pixel Junk Eden. So if this is at all similar to the other one, which is a tower defense, let me know. Next we have Broken Age, and then we have Demons of Astaborg, I think is how it's pronounced. Lots of limited run games here. We have Severed. We also have Bubsy Pacifier Limited Edition. Another new release, the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. And another kind of cheapy case one here. It's like all shifted up on the side. We just talked about that with another game in the last pickup video. Dark Devotion. Lots of limited run games in here, which is cool because I basically like have not purchased new stuff from any of the limited companies for quite some time now. So still able to get them, which is good, at least coming to the store. Infernax. Nexamon and Nexamon Extinction Complete Collection. I did play I think it was just the first Nexamon. I played it right before like Diamond and Pearl came out for Switch because I wanted something like that, and it is basically just a Pokemon ripoff. It's not great, it's not bad, but when Diamond and Pearl came out, I started playing that and I was like, okay, I should have just waited for this. Another one that I'm not gonna be able to pronounce, and it is Obakaidoro, I think. This one has a very interesting font on the side. It's a ESRB rating game, so North American release, but it's got like a really weird looking font. Most of the Switch fonts for the North American releases are all uniform. A lot of the like import ones look different. So this one looks like an import from the side, but it's not. We have Monster Jam Showdown, Hako Life, Mythic Ocean, Redout 2 Deluxe Edition, My Universe Pets Edition. Can't wait to play that one. Persona 3 Portable, Crisis Remastered, and Eldest Souls. Never heard of that one until getting this. We also have Graveyard Keeper Undead Edition. So this one, I took the cartridge out. Oh, it's sitting over there by the Switch. This was the game that I was going to check out after Plucky Squire, which is right here next to it. I opened both of these. They came out like on the same day. Opened them both, put the cartridges near my Switch so I could play them. I'm on chapter 7 out of 10, I believe, for Plucky Squire, and then gotta check out Graveyard Keeper after that. Kyle said that he put about 80 hours into it and it got like too intense, like too much to manage, but I'm looking forward to it. The way that he was talking about it reminds me of Forager, which I really enjoyed on Switch, so I'm looking forward to playing that one. We also have the Secret Neighbor and Hello Engineer Neighborhood Bundle. Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2 Deluxe Edition. Civilization 7. Avatar Last Airbender Quest for Balance. Just Dance 2023 Edition. This is a game download one, but it is brand new. Tales of Iron Crimson Night Edition. That also looks really good. Haunted House. Too spooky. Here's the standard edition of Muse Dash. We also have Rainbow Billy, The Curse of the Leviathan. This one is awesome. NHRA Championship Drag Racing, Speed for All. I know there's a few like NHRA games on PS2, but I feel like I haven't seen them for such a long time, so it's a little weird to see them on Switch, but interesting. We have Neptunia Riders versus Dogoos, I think that's what it says. Guilty Gear Strive Nintendo Switch Edition. We Are OFK. PJ Masks Heroes of the Night Complete Edition. Gotta get the complete edition of this game. Phantom Brave The Lost Hero Deluxe Edition. Life is Strange Double Exposure. Morkel Ragas Rage. Looks good. Genso Manege. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say that or not. Read Only Memories Neuro Diver. And the last one, Civilization 7 Deluxe Edition. Whoa, and I dropped it. All right, so that's it for the Nintendo Switch games. We have, what do we have? We have NES, Super, and Game Boy stuff left. I'm gonna go with Game Boy first. We're probably going to end off with Super Nintendo, because it's the best. So for Game Boy, I'm gonna show you guys the console first. This is a very special one. Very happy to have this. It is my third in the collection. Different colors or different box variants. This is only my third one. And it is a Game Boy Micro. And it is the special 20th anniversary edition, which looks like the Famicom colors. It's got like the gold and the burgundy. Very cool. It's got that original price tag on there of $69.99. Like seeing that. Very nice condition overall, fully complete. And then for games, I do have a small stack here of cartridges that I already had the boxes and manuals for, or in some cases I just have the box and I still need a manual. But we have a bunch of cartridges here for Game Boy Advance and then a couple Game Boy as well. So in no particular order, we have Robots, Mario Kart Super Circuit, what the heck, Super Monkey Ball Jr., Star Wars The New Droid Army, and Spider-Man 2. Always nice to complete a bunch of boxes we already have. And there's actually one more Game Boy Advance game here, which I think I need the manual for this still. And I think it came into the store in the box, but with no manual, but it had all the other paperwork. So I grabbed the cartridge plus that other paperwork, and I still need an instruction manual, but it is for Shining Force, which is not a cheap one. So it's got the registration card, the Nintendo Power insert, the precautions booklet. So I think it's just the manual and then the cartridge baggie to fully complete that one, which will be nice whenever I finally get it. And then going to the original Game Boy, we have Jeopardy and Small Soldiers. And the last one, I actually needed the manual and the cartridge, and I do not know how, but it got traded into the store, manual and cartridge. This didn't come with a box when we got it, which is really weird, but it is for Shoplifter 3. So now mine is complete. And then onto the other Game Boy games here that are already in box. First one is a homebrew, and it is called Quest Arrest. I know nothing about it. We also have Hot Wheels Stunt Track Driver for the Game Boy Color. We have a sealed copy of Monster Rancher Explorer, and as you guys probably know by now, I'm not really too interested in collecting factory sealed games, but I'm not going to avoid adding them to my collection if I get them. I'd rather have the game in at least some form, because I can always replace this down the road with an opened copy, and then, you know, the sealed ones are usually worth more. So whenever that happens, the store gets the sealed one to sell, and I get the open one to keep. So it's kind of a win-win. I get the game in my collection now, but then the store gets a little boost later on. We also have Monster Rancher Card Battle and Bomberman Max Red Challenger. Some cool stuff in here for sure. R-Type DX. River City Ransom for the Game Boy Advance. And then the last two I'm very happy about. Happy about all of them, of course, but these two are a little bit more special. We have the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy Color, but this is the first print box, and as you can see, it's got like the hollow gold on there. The second print, or whatever, however many prints there are, only the first print has that kind of like hollow foil look to the cover. The other ones are perfectly flat, matte, whatever you want to call it. So this was the last of the 4 that I needed. So I had the second print version of this, and I had both versions of Oracle of Ages. So I just needed this first print of Seasons to like complete that little subset. Finally found one. And then lastly, I bought this off of Whatnot as well. It is in pretty nice condition. It's got the original plastic on the box, and that is Titus Fox for the Game Boy, with that original price tag from Electronics Boutique for $10. I think I paid like exactly what price charting said for this, which I think was $2.50. But since this one has the original plastic on the box, it's in much better condition than the average copy, so I think it's worth, you know, a decent chunk more than that. So I feel like it was a good deal. Either way, I'm happy to add this to the collection. This is a fairly uncommon game, even to find loose, so happy to get that one knocked off the list. Whenever I do decide that I want to focus on original Game Boy games, that's gonna be the hardest set on the planet to complete, because that original cardboard and paper is so hard to find for Game Boy, and when you do find it, it's ridiculously expensive. So if I can knock off some games like that as we go along now, it'll be better once I am focusing on it. All right, let's go with NES. Then we're gonna finish off with Super Nintendo. So for NES, I have one homebrew cartridge. Maybe this comes with like a homebrew box, but whatever. Just try not to collect loose cartridge stuff, but homebrew's a little different. We have the California Raisins, The Grape Escape. And this game, I believe it either came out in PAL regions or in Japan. I can't remember which or both, but I know for sure that it did not come out here. So this is I don't know if you'd call this like a ROM hack version, but it was put onto an actual cartridge that'll play in a North American NES. So thought that was kind of cool. That came from my buddy David's collection when he sold it to us at the store. I also got one cartridge for a box we already had, and that is Home Alone 2. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. So this one, this is usually what I do after I'm done filming the video. I go and put everything away. So we have manual and box. Now we also have the cartridge to complete it. It looks like it is missing one of these, which I have plenty of extras. So we're just gonna pop that bad boy right in there. Oh, it's missing the styrofoam, which I don't have extras of right now. But there we go. Home Alone 2, minus the styrofoam, complete. We have another homebrew, newer release, whatever you want to call it. It's a game called Trophy. I know nothing about it, but it has a copyright of 2020. And then the rest of these, aside from the last one, they're really in no particular order. So we have Big Nose the Caveman, Comerica game. We have Knight Rider, The Legend of Cage, Cabal, and we are getting up there with NES games, guys. You can see them right here. We have so many. We have WWF WrestleMania. I just watched the whole McMahon documentary series on Netflix. Very, very interesting stuff. I'm not a big wrestling fan. A lot of the stuff I did not know, but there we got Hulk on the front. Jaws, this one. If you have watched all the videos recently, you'll know that I played this game for like 10 hours, finally beat it. I actually like this game. It's made by LJN, and they're notorious for making like terrible games, especially they're like movie tie-in games, but I think it's pretty good. It's a little repetitive, a little simple, a little difficult at times, but I think it's fun. We also have Pinball Quest. We have a couple black box games here. We have Urban Champion. This is the special Wheeler edition. Got his autograph on there. Same with this one, Gumshoe, Wheeler. And then we have Metal Gear and Super Pitfall. And then the one I saved for last is just because it's factory sealed. I don't think it's necessarily a special game to get sealed, but it is sealed. Again, I'll replace it with an opened copy down the road. It's another Comerica game though, and that is B-52. So there we go for NES, lots of new additions, quite a decent stack right there. And we're gonna finish off here with Super Nintendo. Now, I debated on whether I should show a couple of these or not because they have not been in an SNES Quest video yet. I don't think. But those videos are fun regardless of what I pick up or if you know what I have picked up in them. So I think it's fine. I still have to like film clips with them for the future SNES Quest videos. Not exactly sure how I want to do it just yet. So these ones are not gonna, well, the two that are new additions are not going to go on the shelf right away. I'm gonna set them to the side so I don't forget about them because I have to include them later. But we do have a couple, we have a ROM hack and a couple, I don't even know what to call them, re-releases. First up though is New Super Mario Land. Now, this is a game that I actually already had, but I had a loose cartridge of it. And then Luis, Retro Gamer Brazil here on YouTube, we purchased a portion of his collection. He came to the store, we made a video, and he actually gifted this to me, and it was factory sealed. I opened it so that I could have this one, and then I gave the loose cartridge that I already had to Ryan and Jess. So, very cool. I have popped this in, well, not this one, but the loose cart that I had. I've popped it in before, played a little bit. Very, very cool. I don't even know if I would just call it a ROM hack. It's like, it's got like the new Super Mario Bros. DS graphics, but it's on like the Super Nintendo, which is very interesting. The next one's here, like I said, I don't know what to call these. They're not homebrews, but they're also definitely not bootlegs. These are officially licensed from Capcom and Interplay. So I'm just gonna call them re-releases. I don't know, but we have Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 and Street Fighter 2. So these are like the legacy cartridges from IM 8-bit that came out a while ago. They were ridiculously expensive. They were like 100, maybe even more each. And at the time I was like, no way, I'm not paying that. And so they got traded into the store randomly and I was like, okay, finally, I'll add them to the collection. I don't count needing those as part of the full set, but I like to collect other Super Nintendo stuff as well. That's why I got the homebrew Mario, whatever. So kind of cool, but here we go. Last two games of the video, guys. These were both on my list of games that I needed, and these were both traded into the store. These were traded in by someone who knew that I needed them, so they were bringing them to the store with the intention of me adding them to the collection. The first one, nothing too special, but it is one of the last, you know, handful of games we needed. That is the Sporting News Baseball. This is probably the cheapest game on the list of ones we still needed, but for some reason, I just could not find this anywhere. No game store, no convention, couldn't find one. So got that from him. And then the last one here was one of the biggest ones that I still needed, and that is Zero, the Kamikaze Squirrel. So Michael, if you're watching, shout out to you. Thank you so much. He actually has brought another game to the store just over the past couple days, which again, he knew that I needed. And so you might see that in the next pickup video, but it's another really, really big one. So I'm super excited. We're getting so close to finishing off that set. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and check out the SNES Quest series. There's a whole playlist on the channel right now. But as we continue on, it's just going to get harder and harder as we get closer to finishing off the full North American CIB Super Nintendo library. So that's it for this one, guys. We're going to do a keyword like we always do. So if you use this word in your comment down below, that'll tell me that you watched the entire video and you didn't skip through like a loser. We're going to use the word, I usually try to pick something that I'm seeing right here. We're going to use the word Jim from Earthworm Jim. So J-I-M, put that in your comment and I'll know that you are a true peep. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.